Boom! We are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is, of course, your boy, Nolan Hawkeye Anthony here. And I thank you all for being here, wherever you may be. And of course, however you may be listening. We are on the precipice of the massive official visit weekend of the Iowa Hawkeyes, June 24th. And I have had my thoughts on the Iowa Hawkeyes waiting until June 24th to host their official visit weekend, but we will get into that, of course. But I want to really delve into the phenomenal news. I have been refreshing my news feed over and over and over and over again. And finally, the first piece of info has shed some light as the Iowa Hawkeyes have received a commitment, a pretty big commitment from Indiana offensive lineman Trevor Lauck. And there's the big fellow right there. Before we get into any of that, of course, I want to ask you to consider hitting that subscribe button, support your boy, help the channel get to 1,000 subs, get the channel to make some ad revenue here. You know the drill. You got to help your boy's coffee habits. At the very least, like, comment, share. I'll put the PayPal and Cash App link in the description. And without further ado, let's get into this. Iowa fans, recently, the Iowa recruiting has been on fire. And when I say recently, I mean the past 3 recruiting cycles. I have said that Iowa has, in my opinion, the most talented group of coaches that also are recruiters that they have had in the Kirk Ferentz era, especially right now. In this moment in time, I really believe that Kirk Ferentz has the best, not one of the best, the best staff he has had when it comes to recruiting and, quite frankly, coaching as well. I think he has a lot of great coaches on the staff as well, but those are 2 separate things. The main thing is recruiting. The guys are getting it done, plain and simple. They have a ton of youth, a ton of professionalism, and Iowa has seen the on-the-field results absolutely lend itself to recruiting success. So the recruiters are better for the Iowa Hawkeye coaching staff. They're younger. They're former players. I mean, let's just think about that for a moment. You have Abdul Hodge, former Hawkeye. You have LeVar Woods, former Hawkeye. You have Kelvin Bell, former Hawkeye. These guys have a very personal, you have Liddell Betts, former Hawkeye. They have a very personal connection with the Iowa Hawkeyes. They love the university, they love Kirk Ferentz, and they love football. And you're seeing the results pay off in recruiting. Plus, the second thing I was going to mention is the on-the-field success. Iowa, the past 3 years, have been the first or second best team in the Big Ten, in the Big Ten West. Definitely one of the top 5 best teams in the Big Ten as a whole the past 3 years, making it to the Big Ten championship game last year. Now, bringing this full circle to Trevor Lauck here, Iowa has done a great job, especially since Kelvin Bell became an Iowa Hawkeye football coach, assistant football coach, defensive line. Iowa has done a great job in the state of Indiana. Now, holding on to those guys is a totally different story. And of course, not all the guys have panned out. Julius Brents, Tyrone Tracy, DJ Johnson, I got it. But nonetheless, Iowa has done a great job of recruiting the state of Indiana and pulling out the state's top talent. That's big time. Now, what they do when they get to Iowa is totally secondary. And I am very optimistic about this one as it's the offensive line. This guy is big time. I also want to just say here that when it comes to recruiting, especially with the Iowa Hawkeyes, what makes or breaks a class is one or two guys and their decision. Iowa is not going to be loaded up with 4 and 5 star guys, but guys like Trevor Lauck, who commit to the Hawkeyes, can turn Iowa in a moment's notice into a top 35 recruiting class. And I really believe that that is what we are going to see. All right, guys, let's read this here from Blair Rivals. Let's check this out, shall we? 4-star offensive lineman Trevor Lauck is going to be a Hawkeye. Yeah. The 6'6", 287-pound Indianapolis native announced his verbal commitment to Iowa after an official visit to campus this weekend. By the way, during the course of his recruitment, I would say Ohio State was in the lead for a good portion. Then it came down to Iowa and Michigan State, and Iowa, I think, has had the lead for quite a while now. A Rivals 250 prospect, Lauck chose Iowa over scholarship offers from Michigan State, Ohio State, Michigan, Indiana, Purdue, Louisville, Cincinnati, Boston College, Duke, Illinois, Kansas, Kentucky, Rutgers, West Virginia, Akron, Eastern Michigan, Miami, Ohio, and Toledo. Look at the graphic here. Look at the graphic. I'm going to respond to my guy on air right here. Look at the graphic. Totally awesome. Totally awesome. By the way, Trevor, if you want to come on the channel, absolutely reach out. The link is in the description. You know, the recruits have been so awesome. So many of them retweet the content, and almost all of them are just totally awesome. And it is appreciative. My sales pitch, and I wouldn't even call it a sales pitch as much as just a genuine offer, is when you come onto my channel, you will have direct access to tons of Iowa Hawkeye fans immediately, which if I was still playing Division I water polo, this is what I would do. If I was in their shoes and I committed to a school, I would immediately go on a channel and get some exposure to the fans, especially with NIL. Let's go. Look at that. Woo. This is incredible, guys. I love the graphic. Love the graphic. Before we watch his highlights, let's look at his profile here. We'll also look at his 247 sports profile. So here are all the recruiting profiles. He checks in at 6'6", 287 pounds, excellent size, total monster. Roncalli High School, monster out of Roncalli. 5.8, 4-star according to Rivals, national 229, and third in the state of Indiana, position 25th as an offensive tackle. I don't know if he is expected to come to Iowa as an offensive guard or a tackle. I would say he's probably coming in as a tweener, a guard and a tackle. Here's all of his offers again. Just tons of great offers. The guy really did go to Ohio State many, many times. Here is his 247 sports rating. He is a 4-star according to Composite, and he is a 3-star according to 247 Sports, just their ranking. And I think it's likely he will become a low level 4-star by the time he graduates. Here is his on 3 ranking right here, 88, high 3-star, both Composite and the pure on 3 recruit ranking. So let's read this story and then we will watch the highlights and then I will just kind of wrap this up here. Here we go. The first public commit from Iowa football's massive official visit weekend is on the board as Indianapolis Roncalli 4-star offensive lineman Trevor Lauck announced his commitment to the Hawkeyes on Sunday night. Lauck picked Iowa over Michigan State, while Indiana, Purdue, and Cincinnati were among the schools on his top list. Ohio State also offered him at one point in the process. Apparently, they reneged on the process. I don't know. Iowa offensive line coach George Barnett played a major role in Lauck's recruitment. Barnett was one of the coaches that Lauck grew the tightest bond with, and his recruitment of Lauck played a massive part in his commitment to the Hawks. I've always been a fan of watching Iowa play. It's something about their physicality and being tough guys. Lauck is the third offensive lineman commit in Iowa's 2023 class, along with three-star center Leighton Jones and offensive tackle Kanan Leonard. I would say Iowa, considering the guys that are still on the board, I would say Iowa will take two more offensive linemen or are open to taking two more offensive linemen. And I think that's it. The only reason why I would say they're open to it is because of the talent that is on the board with some of the guys. And yes, the talent is substantial. And last recruiting class, they only took two offensive linemen. But usually taking between 3 and 5 is a pretty hefty haul on the offensive and or defensive line. I would say usually 4 is about enough. But if there's some guys that you really, really like, and it doesn't matter, you just want to get that type of talent into your room, then you will be willing to use up that spot as opposed to a different position, locking up that commitment. Because there are some talented guys still on the board. Caden Proctor, 5-star offensive tackle, Logan Howland, and Chris Turk are all talented guys. Lauck is the 13th commit in Iowa's 2023 class. Analysis. What it means. Iowa now has 3 offensive linemen committed in the 2023 class, and the Hawkeyes are looking for more as they sit in really good place with a handful of top targets, including Southeast Polk 5-star offensive lineman Caden Proctor, Glen Ill West 3-star Christopher Tarek. This is what I said, guys. This is what I said. The Hunt School of Princeton 3-star offensive lineman Logan Howland. All of these prospects visited Iowa City this past weekend for an official visit along with Lauck. And the word on the street was that the bond was strong. If Iowa can land the other uncommitted offensive line targets on the board, this class has a chance to rival the 2021 offensive line class. I agree. I totally agree. As I said, I think Iowa, in normal circumstances, would say that they can only take two more. But due to the talent that is still on the board, I think they are open to taking 2 guys, or maybe even 3 more, guys here. So let me pull up the highlights here, and then we will wrap this up. So here's the highlights, guys. It's playing in the background. What does this mean? Well, it's simple. Iowa is on track to have yet another phenomenal class, and it makes sense. Iowa had a phenomenal season last year, tons of highs. They won 10 games, and Iowa has been solid for the past 3 years. When it comes to the Big Ten right now, Iowa is certainly up there as one of the premier schools in the Midwest. So Iowa is always going to be highly considered, especially at certain positions when it comes to Midwestern prospects. Iowa's prime time position when it comes to recruits right now couldn't be any higher. Outside of winning a national championship or winning the Big Ten championship, it really couldn't be any higher. Things are going really, really well. This is big time. I really do want to show you guys real quick just what I'm talking about here with how Iowa has recruited the last couple of years. 17th, and that's going to go up as this commitment gets added. 2022, Iowa was 30th. And the only reason why, well, this one has them as 40th as they lost a commitment in Orlando Trader. But comparatively, their rating, their average star rating of an 87 point, I can't remember what it was one of the highest Iowa has ever had. The reason why it wasn't as top of a class as far as the rankings go is because Iowa only took 17 prospects. But the 17 that they did get are phenomenal. Okay. So there's that. So they have a ranking of 30. The overall ranking here is high school and transfer portal combined. Okay. I'm just talking about high school recruiting. Okay. Not combined. And then 2021 here, 24th composite, top 25 class. And then 2020. In 2020, they had the 35th. So since 2020, Iowa has been doing a stellar job. I would even go back to 2019, but 2020 is where things picked up big time. This is 2019 41st. The talent that Iowa is getting in the room is so much better, primarily because the state of Iowa is much better when it comes to the talent that the state is producing. And I've said that many times on my channel so far. But Iowa is also recruiting very well elsewhere, landing a 4-star running back out of the state of Florida, big time. That doesn't happen if you don't have Liddell Betts. That doesn't happen if you don't have Liddell Betts. That's a fact. That's a fact. So things are looking phenomenal. And this is not even the end of it. I expect Iowa to land multiple more guys. I wouldn't be surprised if Iowa landed a guy by the time this recording is done. So Iowa's doing great. Iowa fans, you should be excited. The last thing I want to say here is the only thing that Iowa is missing is 2 positions. Well, 3 positions currently. Tight end. Okay. Wide receiver. They do already have a commitment from 4-star wide receiver Alex Mata, okay? But they still need 1 or 2 more. And corner. They have 2 DBs committed, but they need some corners. They need some corners. They have 2 safeties committed. More or less. They could definitely use 1 or 2 more DBs committed. The main 2 positions that they need some assistance right now is that I wouldn't even call it being behind on. It's just that they haven't shorted up that there would be wide receiver and tight end. And we'll see where that goes from here. But every other position is doing great. D-line, offensive line, linebacker, and those are the positions that really, really matter. All right, folks, let me know what you guys think of this massive commitment. Again, Trevor, if you want to come on the channel, let me know. Reach out to your boy. I'll make it happen. Hawk fans, show Trevor some love. This is a big, big time commitment. This class is really shaping out to be an excellent one. I think this class may end up being another top 25 class. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I hope you guys consider hitting that subscribe button. Help your boy out because, well, subscribing makes you feel good. At the very least, like, comment, share. You know the drill. I'll put the PayPal link and the Cash App link in the description if you want to help your boy's coffee habit out. Without further ado, DBAP, don't be a pussy willow. And facts are feelings because your feelings just don't matter. Love you guys. Go Hawks. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.